Hello everyone, Namaskar. Welcome to Supergrads CAT by Top Rankers. And here I am with a new series for CAT 2026 aspirants. Yes, in this series we will be doing arithmetic basics and algebra. The basics of whenever you are solving any part of QA, then algebra and arithmetics play a vital role. So these two things should be at place when you are solving the QA. That is why we have come up with a series where we will be decoding various chapters which are really very important and is of high relevance when it comes to the whole QA section. And today's session is based on average, weighted average, mixture, and allegation because averages is useful in DILR, averages is useful in throughout the topics. So average is a concept which should be done with full vigor and zeal, right? So let's begin with today's session. And here is the question. So you would be surprised that why am I starting with the question to just give you a feel, and then we will be understanding the concepts along with the question. What is the question given here? Nine persons have these numbers with them. If each of them is given 20 candies additional, what is the average? So here, when you look at the numbers, then here the difference between these two numbers is 10. Here the difference 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 is 10. So everywhere you can see that the difference is 10, and in the final lap also the difference is 10. So such type of series is known as a series in AP. So whenever the terms are given in AP, how to solve the average? Everyone knows that basic fundamental of average. What is this basic fundamental? That's sum of observations upon number of observations. But when such type of series is given, you need not to follow that basics, and let us understand that part and then we will come back to the question. So if we talk about average, so average is nothing but sum of observations, sum of observations upon number of observations. And if I multiply the average into number of observations, it gives me sum of observations. So this is an important result because at times you need to get the sum of observations and average is given. So when average multiplied by number of observations, it gives me sum of all the observations. And now these are the basics. But if the series is given in AP, if the observations are in AP, then what happens? Then average will be equal to first term plus last term divided by 2. Or you can write average as the middle term if you have odd number of terms, then midterm is the average. Or you can write average as sum of any two equidistant terms divided by 2. So whatever you wish to. Means if you know the first term and last term, you can calculate the average. If you know the middle term, you know that this is the average. And if you know any two equidistant terms, means second term should be added with the last second term, third term should be added with the last third term, and their average comes out to be the average of the series. So you have to keep this thing in mind. So here, let's come back to our question. The series was given in AP. So what will be the average? The average will be 25 plus 105 divided by 2. So it will be 130 by 2. So the average comes out to be 65. And as you can look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the middle term. Since this is the middle term, this is the average. Now what they are saying, they are not asking the average. They are saying if 20 candies is given additionally, then what will be the average? If 20 candies is given, this becomes 45, this becomes 55, this becomes 65. this becomes 75, and this becomes 85. Still, they are in AP, they are in AP, hence middle term is the average. So the answer comes out to be 85. The answer comes out to be 85. If every term increases by 20, then the average also increases by 20. So here, keep this thing in mind. If each term increases or decreases by k, then the mean also increases or decreases by k, and vice versa. So this is not only true for AP, this is true for any of the terms. So if every term is increasing, then average also increases. And if average is increasing, then every term increases by the same quotient or by the same factor. If each term is multiplied or divided by k, then mean also gets multiplied or divided by, and vice versa. So for any of the mathematical operation, if anything increases or decreases, if anything gets multiplied or divided, the mean also gets changed by the same factor. And with this, let's proceed to the next part. Here we can say that what is the average of all two-digit numbers which leave a remainder of 3 when divided by 7. We have recently learned a concept. So first two-digit number is 10 because it when divided by 7, the remainder is 3. Next number is 17. Next number is 24. So as you can see, 17 से 24, how much we are adding? 7. 10 से 17, how much we are adding? 7. It means they are in AP. It means they are in AP. So how we will calculate the average? The first term is 10. You need to calculate the last term. What will be the last term? The last number which is completely divisible by 7. So it is what? 98 is completely divisible by 7. And if I add 3, it becomes 101. So it is not a two-digit number. So the last number will be 91 plus 3. It is 94. So 94 is your last term. So what will be the average? So the average will be equal to first term plus last term divided by 2. First term is 10 plus last term is 94 divided by 2. That is 104 divided by 2. So the average comes out to be 51. The average comes out to be 52. Got it? It becomes very simple. You need not to write every term. You have to just write the first term, the last term, divide it by 2, obtain the mean, and that will be your answer. Let's proceed to the next part. That if we talk about the weighted average, if we talk about the weighted average, what is a weighted average? So for group 1, the average is given as A1 and weightage means number of observations is given as W1. For group 2, the average is given as A2 and weightage is given as W2. And similarly, so on for group N, the average is given as AN and weightage is given as WN. So what will be the average of all the groups taken together? Average of all groups taken together. So what it will be? A1W1 plus A2W2 plus dash 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 ANWN divided by W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus dash 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 WN. That will be the weighted average. So weighted average is always equal to A1 multiplied by W1 will give me the total. Similarly, A2 multiplied by W2 will give me second total of the second group. A3 multiplied by W3 will give me the sum total of third group. So what is the weighted average? The weighted average is A1 W1 plus A2 W2 plus A3 W3 means the average multiplied by the corresponding weightage and doing that summation, dividing it by all observations. And what will be the sum of all observations? W1 plus W2 plus W3 dash 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 up to Wn is known as your weighted average. Now, if A, A1 is to means if average is in ratios, if average is given in ratios, then answer is cannot be determined. And if weightage is given in ratios, if weightage is given in ratios, then we can directly use it to calculate the mean. Calculate the mean. And this is how it works. Got it? So weightage, if weightage is in ratios, we can calculate the mean. But if average is in ratios, we cannot calculate the mean. It will always be cannot be determined. Got it? So let's look at this question. The average of 29 students in a class is 26. If the age of the teacher is also included, the average age of the class becomes 26.4. The find the age of the teacher. So how to solve this question? Since they have given the average age, so here what funda we will be applying? We will be applying if each term increases by k, then mean also increases by k and vice versa. So this concept we will be applying in this because either you go by the formula or you can do it directly. So first let us discuss the formula. The average of 29 students in a class is 26. So the sum total will be 29 into 26. Now if the age of the teacher is also included, so 29 into 26 plus the age of the teacher is t divided by total will be 30 now because 29 students and one teacher is included. The average becomes 26.4. So how we can do 29 into 26 plus t is equal to 26.4 into 30. This gets cancelled. And from here you get the age of the teacher. The age of the teacher is 4 into 3 is 12, 1 carry. 6 into 3, 18 plus 1, 19, 1 carry. 2 into 3, 6 or 1, 7. Minus 29 into 26. So 29 into 6 will be 190. Oh, sorry. 174. 29 into 6 will be 174. 17 carry. 29 into 2 is 58. 58 plus 17 is 75. So what is the age of the teacher? 92 minus 54 will be 38. So age of the teacher will be 38. But this is a very lengthy thing to do, right? This is a very lengthy thing to do. Let's do it in a very precise manner. How we will do? The average age of 29 students is given as 26. So let's apply this concept here. 29 students. So every student has got 26 as the share, or this is A1, this is A2. So average means I have equally distributed among all of them. So A29 will be 26. If A30 also gets 26, then the average will not change, right? A30 is who? The teacher. If teacher is also of 26 years of age, the average will not change because everyone's share will remain as 26. But what happens? It changes by zero point 0.4, means this person gets zero point 0.4, this person gets zero point 0.4, this person gets zero point 0.4, and similarly this person gets zero point 0.4, and this person gets zero point 0.4. So how much extra? If each term is increasing, if average is increasing by zero point 0.4, it means every term increases by zero point 0.4. Reverse converse of this. So zero point 0.4 multiplied by 30. So is how much? 12. So how much extra did this teacher got? So this teacher got 12 extra, which was divided among 30 students as zero point 0.4 each. So what is the age of the teacher? 26 plus 12, which is 38. तो आप इसको ओरली सॉल्व कर सकते हो कैसे? कौन सा एक सिंपल फंडा यूज किया कि भाई अगर एवरेज बढ़ रहा है इसका मतलब हर टर्म 0.4 से बढ़ रही है, अगर हर टर्म 0.4 से बढ़ रही है तो टीचर अपने साथ एक्स्ट्रा कितना लेके आया है? 0.4 इंटू 30 मतलब 12 एक्स्ट्रा लेके आया है। टीचर अपने साथ अगर 12 एक्स्ट्रा लेके आया है तो 26 प्लस 12 इज 38, 38, 38, वॉट एवर यू कॉल। सो द आंसर इज 38। गॉट दिस थिंग? डन। सो प्लीज ट्राई एंड अप्लाई दिस application. It seems very vague when I tell you the application, but it is applicable in most of the questions. The average height of a group of 15 students is 165. So we are not going by the formula. We are assuming that every student has got 165 centimeter. One student leaves the group and the average age decreases by 3. So everyone decreases by 3. So how many students will be left? There were 15 students. So if last one left, so there are 14 students. And how much the average will decrease? The average decreases by 3. It means each term will decrease by 3. हर टर्म किससे डिक्रीज हो जाएगा? 3 से डिक्रीज हो जाएगा। अगर हर टर्म 3 से डिक्रीज हो जाएगा तो 14 इंटू 3 इज इक्वल टू -42। तो जाने वाला अपने साथ अपना 165 लेके गया, साथ में इन सबका 42 लेके चला गया, तो जाने वाले की हाइट कितनी थी? सो इट विल बी 207 सेंटीमीटर। इज दैट क्लियर? बहुत आसानी से सॉल्व कर लिया, क्योंकि हर एक के अगर इसके शेयर में से 3 ले गया, इसके में से 3 ले गया, तो सबके में से 3 ले गया, तो जाते वक्त सबसे 3-3 लेके गया। अगर सबसे 3-3 लेके गया है तो कितने लोग थे? देयर वर टोटल 14 स्टूडेंट्स। हर स्टूडेंट से 3 लेके गया है, 14 इंटू 3 42 सेंटीमीटर लेके गया है। अगर खुद का 165 लेके गया है प्लस 42 बाकी लोगों से लेके गया है, तो कितना लेके गया है टोटल? 207 सेंटीमीटर। Got this approach? So hope you find this easy and you will be applying it, right? Let's proceed to the next part. There were 5 sections in an exam. The average of Prashant in first 3 sections was 76. So these are miscellaneous type of questions which we will be solving by using the formula. So the average of first 3 sections is 76. So I can write the sum total of 3 sections is 76 into 3. And the average of last 3 sections is 98 plus 98 into 3. The average of all the sections was 89 minus the third section. Minus the third section will be equal to 89 into how much? 5 sections. Why? Because A1, A2, A3. The sum of these 3 sections is 76 into 3. Then A3, A4, and A5. The sum of these 3 sections is 98 into 3. If I add these two, what do I get? A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 plus A3. A3 is additional as 76 into 3 plus 98 into 3. So what extra I'm getting this much. So I can write it as that this is 89 into 5 plus A3, the third section, is equal to this thing. So this is how I form the equation in one line. So if you want, you can do it with this method, or you can directly write it that sum total of first three section is this, sum total of last three is this. Which section is getting repeated? The third section is getting repeated. So that is in surplus. So I need to remove it. वो extra आ गया, उसको हटाना पड़ेगा. अगर उसको हटा दूंगा तो मुझे sum total of five sections मिल जाएगा. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? 76 plus 98 will be 174. 174 into 3 कितना हो जाएगा? 174 into 3. So 3 into 4 is 12, 1 carry, 7 into 3 is 21 plus 1, 22, 2 carry, 3 or 2, 5, 522 minus 9 into 5 is 45, 4 carry, 9, 5 into 4, so it becomes 44. So 12 minus 5 is 7, 11 minus 4 is 7, 4 minus 4 is 0. So what is the sum total of the third section? The third section is of 77 marks. So the answer is 77. Got it? Is that clear? Clear to everyone? Any problem, any issues? Let's proceed to the next part. That is the weighted average. We have already discussed it. So let's solve this. In a school, there are two sections, X and Y. The average marks are obtained by the student in section X and section Y in a science test are 35 and 44 marks respectively. So section A, the marks obtained are 35. Section B, the marks obtained are 44. If the number of students in X and Y is in the ratio 4 is to 5, if this is given in the ratio, will we be able to calculate the weighted average? Yes. So 4 into 35. So what will be the overall average? So weighted average will be equal to 4 into 35 plus 44 into 5 divided by 4 plus 5, because we can directly use the ratios as the number. 35 into 4 is 140 plus 220 divided by 9. So this becomes 360 by 9. So the average comes out to be 40. So what are the average marks of the whole school? It comes out to be 40. Is that clear? In the next one, what they are saying, a class has three sections A, B, C with marks this, and this. If the average marks of the three sections are this, and this, what is the average marks of the class? So here also, the students' weightages are given as 34, second ka weightage is given as 51, and third ka weightage is given as 85. So rather than using these complicated numbers, I just simplify it with the ratios. The ratio is 2 is to 3 is to 5. So this is my weightage. And what are the marks? 55, 65, and 75. So overall weighted average will be equal to 55 into 2 plus 65 into 3 plus 75 into 5 divided by 2 plus 3 plus 5. This is the average. Kindly solve this and put it in the comment section. Got it? Solve this and tell me what is the answer to this question. So this is your homework. I have formed the equation. You have to just simplify it and get the answer. Let's go to the next part. That is your allegations. So when we talk about allegations, then how do we do? Means we put the cheaper quantity here, we put the costlier quantity here, and then we put the mean here. And the difference of these two gives the share of the cheaper quantity. The difference of these two gives the share of costlier quantity. Here, difference means absolute difference. So the value of cheaper is A, costlier is B, and mean is C. So I can write it as A minus C mod upon B minus C mod will give me X upon Y. This is what allegation says. How? Because whenever we are solving, we are actually, whatever has the higher weightage, the mean will shift to that side. Suppose this is a number line, this is 10, this is 90. If this is added twice and this is added, let's say, six times, so this will be how much? 60 plus 180 divided by 8. So it becomes 240 by 8. So the average is 30. So here you can see the average is 30. So from here it is how many parts away? Only 20 parts. And from here it is how many parts away? 60 parts. So 60 is corresponding to 6, 20 is corresponding to 2. So how much contribution is of 6? उतना इससे दूर चला जाएगा, और जितना इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन होगा उतना इससे दूर चला जाएगा, क्योंकि भाई जिसका वेटेज ज्यादा होगा, इमेजिन अ स्केल जहां पे आप ज्यादा वेट रखोगे तराजू उस साइड झुक जाएगी, तो एवरेज आपका उस साइड शिफ्ट हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे इसका वेटेज कम था इसलिए सामने वाले से कम दूर था, और इसका वेटेज ज्यादा था इसलिए सामने वाले से ज्यादा दूर था। सो this is the number line method, but we need not to go deep into this method. I was just explaining or illustrating it. But the only thing you have to keep in mind is whenever two things are given and mean is given, we can calculate the ratio directly by subtracting these two gives me the numerator, by subtracting these two gives me the denominator, and it gives me the respective share. So BC gives me the share of A, AC gives me the share of B. And where we can apply it in any area. Like here is this question. In this question, they have given that in the organization there are 60 executives and some managers. The average salary of all the employees is 15,000. So average is given as 15,000. If the average salary of executives and managers are 9,000, so the salary of executives is 9,000 and the salary of managers is 45,000. So this is the cheaper value, this is the costlier value. The difference between these two gives me 30,000. The difference between these two gives me 6,000. So the ratio is 5 is to 1. If there are 60 executives, so 5 corresponds to 60. So what is the scaling happened here? 12. So if I multiply this by 12, how many managers are there? 12 managers are there. So find the number of managers. The number of managers is 12. So see, rather than forming a complicated equation, we can directly apply allegation when there are three things. One is the cheaper value, another is the costlier value, middle one is the mean value. The difference between these two gives me the share of managers. The difference between these two gives me the share of executives. When I take the absolute ratio, it came 5 is to 1. 5 corresponds to 60, so 1 corresponds to 12. Here again, pause the video, try it by yourself, and then solve. The ratio of water and alcohol in two different containers is this and this. So whenever they talk about ratio of water and alcohol, for solving such type of questions, you change it into concentration. And what is concentration? Concentration is water upon water plus alcohol. Water upon water plus alcohol. So the concentration of water is 3 upon 7 and concentration of alcohol is 4 upon 7. Either you use concentration of alcohol or water, it should be, the unit should be same. If you are going by water, use water everywhere. If you are going by alcohol, use alcohol everywhere. So this is in container A. Let's talk about container B. In container B, it will be 6 upon 13 and this will be 7 upon 13. Got it? So first convert the ratio into the concentration and then solve. In what ratio we are required to mix the mixture of two containers in order to get a new mixture in which the ratio of alcohol and water. Here it is alcohol is to water. So concentration of alcohol and water in container C. So alcohol is 5 by 9 and water is 4 by 9. 4 upon 4 plus 5 is 9. So what is this value? 3 by 7. What is the concentration of water in mixture 2? 6 by 13. What is the concentration of water in mixture 3? That is 4 by 9. So difference between these two will give me the share of this. Difference between these two will give me the share of this. So let's solve this. That 6 by 13 minus 4 by 9. 9 into 6 is 54 minus 13 into 4 is 52. So it becomes 2 by 117. So this becomes 2 by 117. And for this one, it is 3 by 7 minus 4 by 9. 9 into 3 is 27. 27 minus 28 is minus 1 upon 63. So it is basically 1 upon 63 because we just take the modulus. If I take the ratio, what will be the ratio? 2 by 117 is to 1 by 63. So here we multiply by 63. 63 into 2 is 126 is 2. Here we multiply by 117. Cancel this by 9. So this becomes 14. This becomes 13. So the ratio in which they should be mixed is 14 is to 13. So in what ratio we are mixing A and B? We are mixing A and B in the ratio 14 is to 13. So the answer here is 14 is to 13. Got it? Even if you solve with the help of all alcohol, then also you'll get the same thing. 13 into 4 is 13, sorry, 4 into 9 is 36, 36 minus 35, that is 1 upon 63. Then 7 into 9 is 63, minus 13 into 5 is 65, so that will give me 1 upon 117. So that also gives me the same thing. Got it? Next, a mixture of water and milk contains 60% milk. So the concentration of milk is 60%, that is 3 by 5. So what is the concentration of water? Concentration of water is 2 by 5. In 60 liter of such mixture, how many liters of water is required to increase the percentage of water to 50%? So we have to increase the concentration to 50%. So suppose I am using the concentration of milk. In the mixture 1, it is 3 by 5. In mixture 2, it is 0. And the concentration of water is 50%. So the milk is also 50%. 50% is 1 by 2. So you can write this as 50%, you can write this as 60%, you can write this as 0% because in water, the milk will be 0. Here I am using concentration of milk. 60 में से 50 गया तो ये बचा 10, 0 में से 50 गया तो ये बचा 50. So the ratio is 5 is to 1. तो ये अपना मिक्सचर था, ये अपना वाटर था, तो कितना मिलाना पड़ेगा? 5 में 1 लीटर मिलाना पड़ेगा. तो ये 5 करस्पॉन्ड्स टू 60. तो इसमें किसका मल्टीप्लाई किया? 12 का. तो कितना मिलाना पड़ेगा? 12 लीटर्स मिलाना पड़ेगा. एंड इफ यू गो बाय द concentration of water, then the concentration of water in mixture A is 40%, and another mixture it is 100% because it is pure water. It is pure water, so 100%. Finally, you need 50%. 100 minus 50 is 50. 40 minus 50 is 10. 50 corresponds to 60. So 10 corresponds to 12. 5 by 6, 10 by 12. Got it? So either you do by the concentration of milk or you do by the concentration of water. Whatever you do, it will give you the same answer. Got it? So how many liters is required? The answer is 12 liters of water is required. How many liters? 12 liters. Let's go to the next question. A million a total of itna at simple interest, and you will be surprised that in simple interest also we can apply yes. The only thing you have to keep in mind is the units. So 60,000 at simple interest to two persons P and Q, one at 15% per annum, another at 9% per annum. So this is also rate, this is also rate for 2 years. If we received a total of 1320, so in 60,000, so in 2 years he received 1320. So in 1 year he will receive 6,600. So what is the rate? So rate is equal to Simple interest for 1 year upon principal in 200. So what is the rate percent? Effective rate. The effective rate will be 6,600 upon 60,000 into 100. दो जीरो से दो जीरो उड़ गए, ये दो जीरो से ये दो जीरो उड़ गए, सिक्स से ये उड़ेगा तो बचेगा 11. सो इफेक्टिव रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कितना मिला उसे? इफेक्टिव आर इज 11%. And effective R is 11, so this is 11. So 9 and 11, difference is 2. 15 and 11, difference is 4. So the ratio is 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2. So the sum total is, if this is x, this is 2x, then the total is 3x. 3x is 60,000. So x is how much? X is 20,000. And 2x is 40,000. So if we received a total of itna, what is the sum length at 9%? So in 9%, this is 2, 2 means 40,000. So the sum length at 9,000, 9% is 40,000. This is your answer. As simple as that. Whenever you are comparing two quantities and you know the mean, you can calculate their ratios effectively and very easily. This is another variety which comes in mixture alligation as well as averages. So here, the weight of the container alone is 16.66% of the container filled with a certain liquid. So let the total weight be, let the total weight be 6x. So weight of container is 16.66. 16.66 is 1/6 plus liquid weight is weight of liquid is 5x. Okay. So this is how the distribution looks like. When some liquid is removed, the weight of the container with liquid inside it becomes 33.33. So weight of the container does not change. But this is 33.33. It means the total weight is 3x. So the weight of the liquid is only 2x because this remains constant. This will not change. And this is, if this is 33.33, it means it is one third. If it is one third, then total is 3x. Total is 3x, then weight of liquid is 2x. What fraction of the liquid has been removed? So we have removed 3x from 5x. So what fraction is removed? 3/5 of the liquid is removed. So it is very easy when you write it in this descriptive table format. And if you try to form equation and try to get it and you write the fractions, it becomes very difficult to solve. So take care of such questions. Here something is constant. This, on the same lines, you can solve the question about pulp and the dry fruit whenever they are converting grapes into raisins, whenever they are drying apples and forming something else. So whenever there is a juice and a pulp, then also the weight of the pulp remains constant. Whenever there is a container filled with a liquid, the weight of the container remains constant. So something remains constant. You have to just take care of the percentage and get the answer. So with this, we are done with today's session. Just make the notes, and if you wish to enroll for a full-time course, then we have CAT and OMET's advanced batch that is from the India's most personalized MBA preparation program built for percentile growth. And what are the key features? 300 plus hours and 3 times coverage and 2 times revision, 100 plus mocks, 400 plus topic tests, and 30 plus sectional tests. I am alumni mentorship and weekly performance review. Complete stage 2 preparation. Yes, the VAT, GDPI, everything will be done. And the classes will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:20 to 8:50 p.m. So more testing, better strategy, and higher percentile. With this, I would like to end the session. Thank you, but do not forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Thank you. Have a nice day.